You know, I thought this had been filming. Went through all this, and I was like, why does it say start recording when I go to stop it? Yeah. But at least got everything as it should be at the moment. Now, this here was over the last couple of days. The actual pour was today. And as you can see, there was the green, which was the pure wax, and then the foam wax was the other one. These are both pure wax, and there is the plaster that they have to be encased in. When you're doing lost wax, you have to make the wax positive. Then you pour in the plaster to make the plaster negative. Then you burn out the wax to make the hollow, like I said, plaster negative. And then you pour your metal to make the, in this case, the aluminum positive, which is your final product. Now I let this sit overnight last night, and I demolded it, which you'll see in a minute. There's the demolded, and I had to scratch off a little bit where the wax was. I didn't have any clay to put around the bottom of the skulls to keep the plaster from leaching underneath the skulls. I will by the time I actually do this seriously. But this is just basically a dry run. As such. And here I am burning out with the weed torch, which gets up to 3,000 degrees, the wax. And here we are heating and melting the aluminum. Now, like I said, this torch here gets to be 3,000 degrees, actually goes up to 3,500, and it took about 30 minutes to melt the aluminum. I'm turning off the tank there. Bye bye flame. I know the tongs that I'm using are a little bit small, but it's the only thing I had, being I cannot find my welding gloves. I was not going to get too close to that with a pair of vice grips. Now you notice when I pour, the plastic catches fire. I think that was because there was still wax in there. I was in a hurry, which is why I used the weed torch instead of baking it in the oven. It should be baked in the oven for 2 hours to get all that wax to be melted out at about 350 degrees, 400 degrees for a couple hours. The wax foam was the one in the sand done as a sand casting, and it will be melted back down. It did not turn out right, but I really didn't think it would either. Now, if you do not know anything about lost wax casting, the mold that you see there, the white plaster mold, is an investment mold. You have to break that mold to get the castings. Those there are the castings from the, I got them right here, from the plaster mold. This one I think will clean up nicely. This one I don't know yet. I still got to do some modifications on him. Now, my plan is, though, to use lost wax castings to make things like this and like that. These are from soap molds. Yes, these are actual pieces of soap here. But you can also use wax to make wax versions of them, and that's what I intend to do. I intend to make the wax positives and do like you saw with the plaster to make a negative of them in order to cast these pieces. And these are just two of the molds that I've ordered, haven't came yet, into bronze. I think they'll look pretty decent in bronze, actually. And like I said, these are just two of the molds that I intend to use once they get here. Now, I had seen lost wax casting done before, years ago in person, plus recently on YouTube. A lot of times you see it done foundry videos in which you have that they use ceramic slurry and sand to build up a layer before they burn out on the top of the wax, before they burn the wax out in the kiln. But if you're a backyard caster, you do not have that those facilities to do this. And as you can see, you do not actually need it. If done right, you can do this with plaster. You can do it without a kiln. You can use your oven. What I would do would be to take some metal or something and make a little platform on the sides of the plaster, and then have some foil under that to catch the wax as it drips out. That way you don't set your oven on fire. Or you might, instead of foil, have, say, like a pizza pan underneath to catch the wax drippings. And that also goes to get the moisture out of the plaster, because if you don't, the plaster can explode, literally. And you don't want a plaster bomb with hot metal. That's a no-no. That can really seriously injure you. So this is basically doing the lost wax on a next to nothing budget. This is how it's done, and here in a couple weeks, when I've gotten the molds, hopefully, I will be doing another one of these. We will be melting bronze, and we will be using a lot better mold. one that will get a lot better, hopefully, detail in the plaster. So until then, keep on melting and keep on casting. This is Magic at Custom Castings. Till next time, bye bye. We gone.